In my whole lifetime, I never thought I would come across a town within the land of black people where blacks are not allowed to live in there.
I'm in love with Orania.
Yes.
Can I stay in here?
You're not African.
Hello, African people. Welcome back to my channel. In today's episode, we'll be talking about a small community in South Africa called Orania, right? Orania is a small state. I would say it's not a country. I mean, because it's located in South Africa. It's made up of 3,000 plus people, not even up to 4,000 plus people, but they have their own currency and they are 100% independent from the South African, the nation South Africa, 100% independent from them, right? They grow their own crops, and even to the point that the farming that they do, they have to export some of the food that they grow. And it's quite interesting to me that we as black people living on a rich soil is oftentimes importing food from Europe, and all part of the world. And it's crazy. And we have this tiny country, tiny state called Orania, made up of white people, 3,000, not up to 4,000, 3,000 something. I don't get the numbers right, but and it's not up to 4,000. That is something I can promise you. That is able to build their own economy 100% on farming. Isn't that interesting? They grow their own crops and, they harvest it and they are able to eat some and export some to, South Africa and even other part of the world. That is interesting to me. Their economy is 100% dependent on just farming, right? And I think it's something that we as black people have to take something away from, in as much as I don't appreciate the fact that there is a community that you just cannot live there being a black person. That is just what it is. You cannot live there as a black person. I don't appreciate that. However, their mindset and the way they do things is something that I really appreciate. And I think we as black people have to learn something from. They are 100% independent from they are just doing everything by their own. Whatever they do is 100% funded by, the community itself. They don't have to get anything from the government of South Africa or whatever you just can think of it. They do it themselves, either by contributing together, by just fundraising, something like that. They build their communities. They have 3 schools. They have, primary school, secondary school, and now they have one tertiary institution, so, and people from other part of South Africa, even, African countries can come in there to attend school, right? But you cannot stay there. Isn't it interesting? They've been able to build their own community that is so independent from all other African countries, and they are just able to do it. Even electricity, I think they have 45% of electricity being generated by, solar panels and all that. I think they have like 50-something% of their electricity being, imported from South Africa, and that is, how it works. You realize that most African countries depend on each other for electricity. So for that one, it's something that we just cannot talk about. But I'm just talking of their economy. Their backbone of their economy is just their farming. They don't have any mineral, right? They don't have gold, no diamond, no bauxite. It's just 100% farming. And they are not interested in living any kind of extravagant lifestyle or something like that. And you know how their government system works? And it's always people that is always voted by, the sub-communities that they have within them to come together to form the government system. And the people that govern them don't tend to get salaries. When you are being voted to represent them, it is 100% free. No payment, nothing. And I think that is why they are kind of developing that way, because if it was involved money and salaries and all that, I think we would have been experiencing what we typically experience when it comes to, our African politics, right? I think it's the money that is destroying us. It's the money that is the reason that we are not being where we're supposed to be. And like I said, I do not appreciate how these people go by their way of living, which is only white people that are allowed to stay here, but their mindset and the way they are being able to build their community is something that I really appreciate. And one of Ghanaian popular YouTuber, Wendy Maya, went there to do some interviews. Let's listen to what he has to say about how they got their lands, right? They said they bought it from South Africans. And apparently, they represent, I think, not even up to 4% of the whole country, right? Like if you check statistically, I don't think they are even very tiny proportion of people, but they own the vast majority of land in South Africa. You best believe it or not. That's just what it is. Let's watch a video of what he has to say to Wadiwaya regarding how they got their lands from South Africa. Let's listen to it, and I will put in my thoughts in the edit of the video. Let's check it out.
Someone might ask, if you want to preserve your culture, you're preserving your culture on a land that belongs to South Africans.
Well, that is whole nother debate. The land here we bought, we paid for it.
From who?
Well, at that stage we bought it from the previous owner, which was the government, right?
But I don't think an African can leave Africa, go to Europe and say that we just bought this land and no one is allowed to come in.
My family came here in 1683. Right, my family arrived here. That is longer than American government official visited Orania a while back, and when I told him that fact, he said, well, that's way longer than my white family has been in America. I said, you guys are here in Africa longer than my people was in America. So our name is Afrikaners, our language is Afrikaans. Right, so we feel part of this continent, and maybe people don't agree, but I don't have another home. Obviously I know that I have European roots. 400 years ago. For 400 years my people have been here. I love Africa. I don't want to live any place else. I feel a part of this continent. My language grew, obviously from Dutch, but it grew on this continent. This is the place where I feel at home, and I've been overseas. This is the only place that I feel at home, is Africa.
Well, that is the video for you. I think if you're South Africa and you have been able to sell this large amount of land for white folks, I think if they are doing anything today, it is 100% on you. You have created it. Why should you sell this large proportion of land to people that don't even look like you in the first place? Why? What is their motive behind it? You should understand that there is some kind of mindset behind it. That is why they are buying this amount of land, because, like, let's say for instance, 100 people are buying like maybe 50,000 hectares of land and you selling it to them. I mean, that should tell you something. They are up to something. But apparently, black people, when it comes to money, we are just different kind of human beings altogether, and it's just not helping us. It doesn't build us. It destroyed us. And you see right now what is currently going on in South Africa, being Afrophobia. People are living in Orania as illegal immigrants, and they don't have problem with it. The white folks that are living with them don't have problem with it, and the black people that are living in South Africa itself cannot jump over there to go and fetch those people out, because for them, they love their brothers. They see their brothers as like, hey, come over here, regardless of whether you come here legal or illegal. Let's form a community and let's build together. And they are doing it. They are finding a way to work around it. But for South African, black South Africans, they just see another African being a threat to them. I don't know whatever the reason is. I don't know whatever the case is, but somehow, some way, like, we black people see each other as a threat. And I just don't get it. We should be coming together, doing things. I don't believe in, you go into someone's country, like if you're Nigerian, you head over to South Africa. I don't believe in you selling drugs to them and all that. But then, the prostitution aspect of it, I don't believe in it. But if someone is having a shop and you go in and attacking that person just because the person you think you were supposed to be running that shop, how about you start, opening that shop by yourself? You don't allow someone to create a shop to that level and you just go in and say, no, it is supposed to be run by a South African. That's not fair. I mean, I wouldn't condone someone doing that in Ghana, like going out to someone's business and say, hey, this business should be run by a Ghanaian. It's bullshit, to be honest. But we have South Africans that are so comfortable, confronting black Africans that are quote unquote illegal immigrants, taking their shops, destroying their businesses, looting their shops and all those things. And it's just terrible. I've seen the videos. I mean, it's just, man, I think it is something that is just to distract black people. That is something to destroy us. There is always a way to destroy black people, and this is one of it. Sadly, we fall for these kind of ways of, destroying us. And it's just sad. It's sad and it's shameful. Guys, that brings us to the end of today's video. If you enjoy this type of content, make sure you give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you turn on post notification bell so anytime we post a new video, you'll be the first to watch it. This is African Eye. This is African Speech. This is Africans telling our own stories and giving out our own thoughts of our own land. Catch you in the next episode. I'm out here, gentlemen. Peace.